Hi and welcome. My name is Jon Leland and I'm a digital marketing strategist and the host of Video Mojo, a weekly video blog and podcast that connects timeless marketing principles with the bleeding edge of video communications and technology and marketing. So today we're going to talk about 4 applications that can really help you get more fluent in the language of video and increase the power of the connections that you make via doing video. As you may have heard from other episodes of this video blog and podcast, I'm a big, passionate advocate of the practice of video, of learning by doing, of experimenting, but most of all, getting yourself out there so you develop the video muscle. And these are 4 applications that can help you do that in order to make better connections with the people that you're working with or that you want to influence. The first application is called Loom. It's loom.com, and I will put all of the links for the applications that I'm talking about and some other resources into the description or the caption of wherever you're watching or listening to this podcast video blog. So Loom is very popular because of its simplicity and also because of its free level robust application. It operates both as a Chrome plugin and as a desktop application. I've only used it as the Chrome plugin because I find that really convenient. So when you use Loom, the limitation is that you don't get much customization. Your video will be a small circle like this in the lower left corner. You then will be able to share your screen and show people what it is that you want to communicate about. We use it frequently, and I've seen it used really kind of explaining things that are going on with software or websites, and it's very powerful and relatively easy to use. A step up from that is Snagit, which is a kind of a Swiss Army knife because it has both the ability to do still frame captures as well as various forms of video interaction. It introduces the sophistication of being able to switch back and forth between a screen share and a full live action video talking head like this. I got turned on to Snagit by Steve Dotto of Dotto Tech, and he is a resource that I recommend, and I'll also include a link to his video review of Snagit for a lot more detail. Snagit is a paid application. It's a one-time fee of about $50 unless you get some kind of discount. And it will give you a more sophisticated ability to kind of produce videos where you're switching back and forth, but not in post-production. I really like the third tool, Wistia's Soapbox. Wistia is a video hosting application that I do recommend to get away from the YouTube noise that happens when you host videos on YouTube. For example, on my landing pages for the Video Launchpad, I have embedded videos that will not recommend other YouTube videos by using the Wistia platform. Soapbox is an application that Wistia has developed, also accessible by a Chrome plugin, but it has a really clever post-production editing interface. You record once and then in this editing interface have the ability to switch between the live talking head and the screen share and a third view, which is 1/3 talking head and 2/3 screen share. So if you're doing kind of mini tutorials, Soapbox is a pretty cool application that will enable you to produce a kind of presentation that looks like you've used much more fancy editing software, but has a nice combination of the live talking head human presence and the screen sharing. Then, if you want to move up to the next level, Bom Bom, B-O-M-B, is a really cool application, particularly if you're doing a lot of email outreach. So if you want to move to a more sophisticated level, particularly if you're a marketer, like for example, a real estate marketer that wants to stand out above the crowd in how they communicate with their prospective customers, Bom Bom integrates with email like nothing else that I've seen. And the way that they do that, for example, is when you record a Bom Bom video for somebody, the first 2 seconds is an animated GIF that can be embedded into an email. In fact, they have a whole email integration for outbound marketing. So that means the learning curve is higher, the cost is definitely higher, it's a professional application, but it will give you the ability to communicate with email and really make personal messages that can attract and engage in a very powerful way. So there's a quick overview of 4 tools that you can use to increase your video muscle. You know, it's practice. It takes determination and a kind of like a perseverance to stay with it. Each one has a learning curve. Starting with Loom is simpler and walking up the ladder. But whatever you do, I really encourage you, get out there, make yourself more visible, and do the kind of engagement that these kind of video tools enable. So thanks again for your kind attention. I really do appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next week.